Welcome, everybody, to the NFL Draft Geek video series. I'm Brian Johannes, and we're going to continue our themes of looking at the teams that could potentially have that number one overall pick in the 2019 NFL Draft. I put out a video earlier on the Indianapolis Colts, and today we're going to talk about the Buffalo Bills. Why the Buffalo Bills may have the number one overall pick in the 2019 NFL Draft. So Bills fans, Bills Mafia, don't come hard after me. I'm not guaranteeing the Bills will have the worst record in the NFL next year. It's just they're one of the teams that I think could. So if you don't like it, let me know. But I'm going to go through here, kind of look at the roster, and look at things. Reasons why they could finish there, and right now I got up their depth chart according to our lads. I know it's very fluid right now. Training camp has just started. Some of these guys might not be on the roster. Positions are in battle, but I'm just going to kind of look over and say, okay, this is why I think the Bills could end up with that number one overall pick. Let's start with the quarterback. As we look here, A.J. McCarron, Josh Allen, Nathan Peterman. Three-way battle, it sounds like, for the most part in camp, it's between Peterman and McCarron. Here's the thing. I was a big fan of Josh Allen going to the Bills. I felt if there was going to be a team that he was best suited for to have success early on in the NFL, it was the Buffalo Bills. I liked what they were doing. They were kind of amassing a team similar to what the Panthers had with Cam Newton. Big, tall receivers that can win contested catches. You know, Josh Allen's got a rocket for an arm. I don't think his accuracy issues are as bad as people are saying. Now, I'm not saying he's a pinpoint thrower, but he's a guy that's, more of a jump ball thrower, kind of like Cam Newton was early on in his career. And so having guys like Kelvin Benjamin and Zay Jones, I think we're going to be helpful because both those guys can go up and win those balls. All you have to do is get it close to them, and they're going to go up and make the catch. So I like that Josh Allen pick a lot. But he's going to have some growing pains. I'm not naive. I gave him, around probably a second, third round grade, kind of in between there. And I felt like he needed time to develop. He needed to continue to fix his lower body mechanics, get used to it. Okay? That's going to take time. They went out and they say A.J. McCarron. Nathan Peterman's entering his second year in the NFL. I have a gut feeling here that McCarron's going to be the opening day starter. He'll probably play, half the season, maybe a quarter of the season. But Josh Allen's going to be starting at some point. You don't draft him 7th overall and not play him. And he's got some issues. He's going to throw interceptions. He's going to miss that mark. Okay? There's going to be growing pains. I think he can be a successful NFL quarterback, a starter in this league. I'm not saying he's the next Tom Brady, but I think he can be a Jay Cutler level quarterback, a guy that's a top half of the league starter on a pretty consistent basis. Okay? But it's going to take time. It's going to take a lot of time. Okay? So that's the whole quarterback situation. It scares me. McCarron has flashed at times, but he's still not, a guy that people aren't breaking down the doors to get A.J. McCarron. Okay? So he's flawed. Peterman did not look good last year. Josh Allen's got his warts too. The quarterback position, I think, for the Bills this year is going to be a mess. Next year, third year down the road, who knows? All right, let's look at the running back. Lesean Mccoy is a stud. Absolute stud. But what about his off the field issues? His girlfriend getting beat up, home invasion, whatever it may be. There are some, concerns that he may not play at times this year. If it's found that he was directly involved in that, he's done. Maybe he's claiming that he's not, and maybe if that gets proven, he'll play. Okay? And if he plays, this helps. But if he's gone for a chunk of the year, that's going to hurt this team. He's their best offensive player by a mile. If he's missing games, whether it's injuries or suspension, this Bills team is going to struggle. They need to run the ball. Take the pressure off their quarterback play. McCoy can do that when he's healthy, but is he going to be? They added Chris Ivory. I think that's an upgrade over their backups from last year. But he's just a guy. Jacksonville had him, and they never really fully trusted him. And I know they had Leonard Fournette and that, but he's played good at times, but he's a backup. Other than that, they don't really have a lot. Tywan Jones, Marcus Murphy, Tavares Cadet, Keith Ford. Those aren't guys that are going to instill a lot of fear. Those aren't guys that are going to make plays. So this offense is putting a lot here on Lesean McCoy. Receivers, I think they're solid. I like Kelvin Benjamin in this offense. I like Zay Jones. It sounds like Kelvin Benjamin's playing a lot out of the slot. I'm a big fan of that. Okay. Like I said before, these are two guys that can go up and catch the ball. But after that, there's some concern. Brandon Riley's working his way up, a guy, undrafted free agent out of Nebraska, down the field threat. But he's still a limited player. And if you're counting on him to be your third or fourth wide receiver, he's got a limited ceiling. Okay? Jeremy Kerley, slot receiver once again. He's just there. He's had success here and there, but it's not like he's a world beater. They're expecting Zay Jones and Kelvin Benjamin to be big-time players. At tight end, Charles Clay is another guy. I think he can, make plays for you, but, once again, he's not going to win you many games. He's going to be a solid tight end that you can move around the field, maybe a little bit of a matchup weapon, but once again, they have some solid receivers, but they don't have anybody elite. They don't have a true number one. They don't have anybody that's really going to scare NFL teams. They basically have a lot of possession guys that are going to work the middle of the field. Benjamin can push it down the field a little bit, but still, no one that out there is going to scare you. I think the big weakness for the Bills, if it's not the quarterback position, it's the offensive line. Deion Dawkins, John Miller, Russell Bodine, Vladimir Ducasi, Jordan Mills. I like Deion Dawkins coming out of Temple. I don't think he's a left tackle in this league. And they traded away Cordy Glenn and were able to move up to get Josh Allen. But if Deion Dawkins is your starting left tackle all year long, I think they're going to run into issues. Russell Bodine was a guy that Cincinnati Bengals fans could not wait to get rid of. They were so excited when he left. Okay? So here he is their starting center, a guy that was routinely graded out by Pro Football Focus as one of the worst starting center in the NFL. So he went from Eric Wood, who had to retire early because of injuries, now to Russell Bodine. That's a big drop. I think Wyatt Teller, their fifth-round pick out of Virginia Tech, is going to push Vladimir Ducasi at the right guard position. Teller's a guy that I like coming out of Virginia Tech. He's physical. He moves a little bit better than his size would indicate, but he's still a fifth-round pick, and he's still got some issues there. So Jordan Mills is a guy that the Bears struggle at right tackle, and they let Jordan Mills go. So you're getting basically guys like Russell Bodine and Jordan Mills starting. Vladimir Ducasi was with the Jets, and they let him go. You're starting three guys that other teams just let go. The NFL these days has got a lineman crisis, and teams are letting these guys go. Okay? So it's a big issue there. I think that's going to hurt McCoy because they can't block for him. He's not going to get yards, and that's really going to put pressure on these quarterbacks to have to scramble and make quick throws. And is this defensive secondary is going to be able to trick them and jump routes and that? So if this offense struggles and ends up being one of the worst offenses in the NFL, which it could, it's because of this offensive line. Tyrod Taylor masked a lot of those issues last year, but they also had Cordy Glenn. They also had Eric Wood. Okay? So that's a big issue. Now, if we move on to the defense, I like what they're doing on defense. Sean McDermott is one hell of a coach. They've got talent here, but I think they're not a complete unit. I love what they're doing with the defensive tackles. Star Latulippe coming over from Carolina knows the system. Kyle Williams is getting older, but still a good player. Harrison Phillips fits exactly what they want to do. So at a minimum, there's 3 guys right there that can hold down that middle. It's going to be tough to run up the middle on this defense. But where are you going to get the pressure from? Latualé is more of a run defender. Harrison Phillips is a run defender. Kyle Williams is a run defender. They don't have that penetrator like Kawan Short, KK Short was with the Panthers. Then, when McDermott was there and they made that Super Bowl run, they had Short in there attacking and penetrating. Who's going to be that guy for them? On the edge, they've got guys like Shaq Lawson, Jerry Hughes, Trent Murphy, guys that are solid. I like the Murphy fit with them. I'm anxious to see him in a 4-3 defense. But where's their edge pressure going to come from? Jerry Hughes has not been the same from that year that he had with Rex when Rex Ryan was here. Is Lorenzo Alexander the strong side linebacker? Is he going to be able to give him that pass rush ability? I just really question their ability to get sacks and get offensive pressure. They like to go, 4 guys, rush 4 people. Are they going to be able to do that with this defensive line? I don't know. I think there'll be one hell of a run defense, but I really question their sack output. Linebackers I really like. Matt Milano was a 5th-round pick the year before. Really kind of stepped up and played pretty well last year. Tremaine Edmonds is one of my favorite, if not my favorite player in last year's class, but he's still raw. I liked him a lot. I thought he had elite potential, but it's potential right now, and he's got to convert on that. So I like him. They're linebackers, but it's still question. Can Edmonds reach that potential? Secondary, I think is pretty solid. Davyous White is an absolute stud. I really loved him coming out of LSU. He showed it last year that he was, should have been drafted higher. I don't know how he fell to the Bills that late. Vontae Davis, you know what though? He hasn't been the same for a while, and they're bringing him back into the NFL. They signed him this offseason. Can he regain some of his abilities? But what do they have after that? Phillip Gaines, he only played, coming over from Kansas City. Can he reach that full potential? Cornerbacks, they don't need superstars. They play a lot of that zone coverage, so maybe they can get a steal, a guy like Levi Wallace, who played well for Alabama. Maybe he can be a guy that can come in and make earn a backup type role. But they look about they have one good corner, one questionable corner, and then a lot of question marks after that. Safety, I think they're pretty well set. Micah Hyde, Jordan Poyer, both played pretty well. One of the better safety tandems in the league. Neither of them are probably a household name, but would they fit exactly with what Sean McDermott wants to do in that defense, and it showed last year. So I'm not worried about their safeties at all. Definitely talented players. So there you have it. I mean, this isn't going to take long because it rests on this offense. If the Buffalo Bills don't want to be picking the first pick in the draft, they need their offense to step up in a big way. They need Josh Allen to hit. They need that offensive line to gel. But still, they just don't have that explosive an offense. They're going to struggle to score points. Their defense will be solid, but I don't think the defense is going to win them any games. It's not like you have the Jacksonville Jaguars defense out there. All that said, the Colts, a couple other teams that I'm going to highlight, I think are going to be in the running for the first overall pick. And what the Buffalo Bills do with that, if they're able to get an explosive receiver, if they're able to get an offensive tackle early in the draft, maybe they go after a defensive player. Whatever they do, they're still a team that's another year or so away. Last year making it to the playoffs, they overachieved. They overachieved last year. And they had some good talent, but they also lost guys like Tyrod Taylor, Cordy Glenn. Guys that really helped that offense out, and they just don't have them this year. So with that said, I hope you guys enjoyed it. I tried a little bit different this time, showing you the depth chart as I went through it rather than just looking at my ugly face. So I hope you guys enjoyed. If you got any questions, feel free. Hit me up on Twitter at draft_Brian. Instagram, I'm at the same place. At NFL Draft Geek, you can follow there too. Leave a comment below. Be nice. You can disagree with me all you want. That's fine. I'd love to hear it, whether you agree or you disagree, and why not. I'm more than willing to have discussions. But thanks for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed, and make sure you hit up NFLDraftGeek.com for all your NFL draft needs. 365 days a year coverage there. All right, thanks for watching.